Peace to the nation. Peace to the nation. Good morning. Good morning. I hope this morning finds you all well. I'm attempting to do something here this morning. I don't know how to get back there, but let me get this back to where I need to be first of all. According to social media, well, earlier this week I was on social media and I was looking at some things. We're just regularly just scrolling, and I saw a reel where it had about 90 seconds, maybe less than 90 seconds of this hold on, shut up thing. Where my mute at? It had well, never mind. It had a 90-minute reel of this particular press conference or meeting in the Oval Office where he was signing, where President Trump was signing executive orders, and the reel had the writing. I mean, I don't know how you the cap. It wasn't necessarily the caption because it was written on top of the video. Uh, Trump okays whooping students, blah blah blah. Basically, corporal what they call corporal punishment. When I was younger, they allowed paddling students in class. They also allowed physical discipline at home from your parents. But in the modern era, I don't know whether this. I think this kind of started like maybe in the '90s, where they decided, well, it's not right to beat the children. I mean, yeah, that's fair. Because every child don't need to be whooped on. Every child don't have that psyche to be whooped on. I guess no children. No children should be whooped on. But don't let me but draw this out too far because I would just want to play what was said in that 90-minute or 90-second reel, whatever. Hold on. We talking about workforce. See, one thing about dude, and I mean, like I said, I didn't vote for Trump. I didn't vote for Biden. Uh, but one marked difference between this presidency and the last presidency, you at least once or twice a week you'll see him on camera with people asking them questions and him presenting information, blah blah blah. During the Biden administration, really, it started during his campaign. You didn't really see Biden out um, interacting with the people, or even like having situations where he's sitting around just having conversational talk with in regards to maybe policy or respective policy. For the most part, he was in his basement. But one thing what they call this transparency in office. This I don't know if anybody might agree or not, but this is what I would define as transparency. If the man is doing stuff, then at least he has the I don't know the foresight or the self protection to have it done in public to where it can be seen and witnessed. So I guess it's gonna come up because old girl they about finished talking about what they talking about. Hold on, go. I need to shut my window. Here come the guy now.
Next year, we have an executive order on school discipline policies. Under, I believe it was the Biden administration, first Obama and then Biden, the Department of Justice issued guidance that made it almost impossible for schools to enforce adequate disciplinary policies. This created issues in the classroom for teachers and students alike. Basically, they focused on CRT and sort of diversity ideology instead of actually just enforcing the rules in classrooms to ensure a safe learning environment.
Okay, now this is for the most part where they got this from, and it says it allows teachers to adequately discipline the schools adequately discipline children. It said protects against the teachers and the officials, but he also said the students as well. And this was like in response to something I think it's called back a while years ago. Obama had presented something in regards to harassment or even abuse sexually on campuses, and it was called a Dear Colleague letter, and it had to do with Title 9 policy, and that was in some way to like I guess to differentiate the type of student and the type of discipline that was given to them. What up 912? So this plan, what this policy, what this executive order is attempting to do is to eliminate the equity part of disciplinary actions in classrooms, and make it a more equality based. How and they said it early on, and of course that I myself look sideways at anybody who says colorblind, because if your eyes work, you're gonna see color. But the man said colorblind and merit based. So what this policy is attempting to do is make the discipline colorblind and merit based. I guess based on the merit in which you need to be disciplined, this, that, and the third. So let me continue on with it. I don't want to talk too much on it.
Executive order revokes that prior guidance and puts us back in a place where hopefully the Department of Education can focus on education and teachers can focus on teaching in a safe environment.
And this was important for you, Linda, as I understand it.
Yeah, absolutely, because it gives teachers the authority now to have discipline in their classroom and discipline the person who is being disruptive. We
Discipline the person that's being disruptive. Now I don't know whether, and it's, I mean, I still have yet to hear anything about them whooping the kids, but what, and I've read the legislation as well. What it appears as if there was some type of extra coddling or extra type of or how do I say this, guided discipline or preferential. That's what I'm saying. Preferential discipline applications that was done to certain types of students. So let's continue.
took that away.
Okay? Nice. Linda, you should hold there.
Lastly, sir, we have an executive order on disparate impact theory. This is a theory that underlies a lot of the modern DEI and CRT-driven diversity culture. The basic idea here is instructing your departments and agencies to no longer rely on disparate impact theory as they're regulating, as they're issuing guidance, as they're making rules. We want to focus on results. We want to focus on actual fairness. We want to focus on merit, not things like disparate impact theory and the whole sort of diversity, equity, and inclusion cult.
It's getting out of.
So he says disparate. Disparate in this situation, from my interpretation, is that when you look at certain groups of people and they say things, well, this disproportionately this happens to this person, or this group of people, or disproportionately this happens to that group of people. So what I guess perceiving this based off, the order, what the legislation and the order is trying to do. Evidently they looked at whatever type of student it was, whether it might have been a student that and I don't want to put this on kids because you don't know whether kids shouldn't necessarily have a sexual identity or something like that. But we'll just keep it on color, since it was all on color when they was talking about it. You can't look at it like, well, black kids go through this, that, and the third, blah blah blah. What they're wanting them to do at this point is to what they want them to do. This. I'm only talking about the part where they came. Hold on, let me see. What they want. Damn, I lost my place. What they want to do with this legislation is just put it to where everybody along the line make it fair, that every whatever discipline is done is applied for whatever action that goes on or infraction that goes on in the classroom. It's meted out equally. Everybody get the same whatever. He ain't signed nothing else now. I'm focusing on this one particular thing because on my social media, on my Facebook or whatever, uh, they're talking. They're making they're making the claim that when he did this, what he was doing is giving teachers the permission to beat the kids in school again. Now, I made the argument. I said, how can he do that on the federal level when even on your little state level, your city level, you can't whoop your kids? What kind of sense would it make for you to be able to send your kids to school and they're underneath the subjection of if they do something off the wall crazy, then the teacher can decide arbitrarily that they deserve corporal punishment by way of paddle or whatever. Then the thing about it was, and people go for this is what gets me. And of course, the old saying that you want to hire some black person, put it in the book. Uh, the thing about it was black people. They were just riding this out, and it's like, damn, this is just simple logic. But then again, of course, some of these black folks probably still whoop their kids at home, and they don't give a fuck about what the law is or whatever. But they rolled this out. I'm like saying, well, it don't make sense to me because it's in the age of the modern age of the internet. You got to be able to separate what makes sense and what doesn't make sense. So I said, well, does anybody read anybody? What I have yet to hear. I was pretty much debating with one lady. I said, where in this clip? Because I didn't play the most all of what the clip was when they said that was letting them know that the president is allowing teachers to whoop the kids. I ain't heard nothing in there where they said that's what it's gonna be. Point me out, because she kept on bringing out other stuff. Our kids, the black kids treated different, blah blah blah. When you misbehave in class, uh, them teachers not gonna really look at the fact that that you come from the ghetto and you ain't got no you might be hungry going to class. That ain't when the teacher or the school officials, they got other things to think about, man. If you get the school rules when you start school and the school tells you, well, little Ricky, little Tyrone, little Michael, little Lucy, little Ruth Ann, little Lucretia, Priscilla, Keisha, when you break this rule, then this is what's gonna happen. It ain't necessarily since if you Chinese, then we gonna let up off for you. This is what this is attempting to do. So exactly, parents get locked up, but they want to let other people touch other people's kids. That's crazy as fuck. It did make sense to me, and that's why I spent all that time going back and forth with that gal because it didn't make sense to me. Let's see where he said we had no I'll skip your other copy. Except parent get they want control over everybody. So bad this is crazy. I still with my I censored. I mean, parents would go on from what I heard would go on in their house, stay inside the house. But let me continue. Let me finish. Let me go to the next part because it was black people doing all this talking and shit. Because it's like, well, hell, they waited to the 21st century to have somebody else that's usually not even black, usually a politician from a particular political party. They waited all this time in their life to find out what exactly is for somebody outside of them and outside their experience to determine what is racist. What they use they allow other white supremacists to give their definition of what a white supremacist is to identify the super white supremacists, which I guess according to certain news, MSNBC, blah blah blah, or figures, that master white supremacist was Donald Trump. Even though I keep on saying what specific policy or action has Donald Trump done to specifically and solely affect and harm black people, I have yet to hear that. But let me continue here with this.
that, huh?
Yes, sir.
After being in that jungle for a long time.
Now, if anything, he said that he just said now we've been stuck in this jungle for a long time. Anything, which is, that's still some bullshit sensitivity when the motherfucker said we've been stuck in this jungle for a long time. Uh, you could kind of compare it back to where the former President Biden said, "I'm not sending my kids to a racial jungle," but let's keep on going. Let's not get off track here.
Thank you. Very good job.
Thank you, sir.
Very much.
Appreciate it.
Very much.
They have a special
Would
guest.
you like to introduce again Annette, and perhaps Annette wants to say something?
And this is to go with what they just got finished saying.
Right here.
Yes, Annette, yes, please come over. Would you like to have some comments to make? I know you're a former Charlotte Mecklenburg school teacher. I'm a North Carolina.
Now, surely Annette's not walking up and smiling and, being, receptive over the fact that this guy just passed legislation that allowed the kids to get whooped arbitrarily by teachers as a form of discipline. Surely this woman is a teacher from North Carolina.
Girl, so
Yes,
it's nice
ma'am.
to see you. Yes,
Yes.
remember.
Yes. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you so much. I'm so honored to be here. This
She's
has
honored to
been
be
an
there.
8-year
Shame on her.
journey for me to raise awareness to the violence that's in public schools and the critical need to address violence in public schools. Again, been doing it 8 years because most administrations like to keep the violence hidden.
Okay, so we're going to go back. I know that you got a little noise right there. She said to address the violence in classrooms. The violence against students and the violence against parents. And but I've been on this road for 8 years because it seems as if other administrations want to hide it. They want to put okay, well, don't go so hard on Billy. The reason Billy just hit the teacher in the head with the brick because he got to go in bed at home. You know, don't. But hey, like I said, I don't want to sound like I'm cheerleading for Trump because I didn't vote for Trump. And I definitely didn't vote for Biden. I definitely am no longer a Democrat, and I will never be a Republican as far as I know. So let's hear what I took it back to where Annette started. Hopefully it'll be quiet. I should close these windows, but I'm not close. I'm about to get up and close the window because I ain't got nothing on because it's early in the morning. Here we go.
Would you like to have some comments to make? I know you're a former Charlotte Mecklenburg school teacher. I'm a North Carolina girl, so
Yes,
it's nice
ma'am.
to see you. Yes,
Yes.
remember.
Yes. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you so much. I'm so honored to be here. This has been an 8-year journey for me to raise awareness to the violence that's in public schools and the critical need to address violence in public schools. Again, been doing it 8 years because most administrations like to keep the violence hidden. We have 3 students that should be here with us today. We have
Hold on. Because y'all is about to throw y'all. She said the violence in schools. And she said there's 3 students that should be there with her today. Some of y'all folks in the comments get mad when I do when I pause shit, but 3 students should be there today. Now, when y'all hear this first one, it's gonna throw some of y'all niggas off. But disciplinary policies. This all goes back to disciplinary policies in school. It's not necessarily her showing her love and support for whatever ended. Well, yeah, of course, she's a teacher. She goes to love a student. It's not showing any preference toward the students that she's named. It's just showing the fact that these students should be there, if not for adequate disciplinary policy, possibly be there.
schools. Again, been doing it 8 years because most administrations like to keep the violence hidden. We have 3 students that should be here with us today. We have Austin Metcalf, I'm sorry, if I said his
Metcalf.
name wrong, Serenity Baker, and Nizir Taylor from Charlotte, North.
Austin Metcalf. If you don't know who Austin Metcalf is the young man that was recently stabbed by the young white male that was recently stabbed by the young black male in it's not Dallas, Texas, but somewhere in Texas. And it's been in the news, whatever, whatever. It was that school event. It wasn't at a school event. It was a school function, but it wasn't at a school. Hey man, just like your job, just like people go online, they try to cancel people when they say something, blah blah blah, and if they say it like some type of event that might be not necessarily at your job place, but you know somewhere that your job is represented at, then hell, then them people end up getting fired. That's discipline. They be disciplined for whatever they said or did somewhere else. Due to the fact they're associated with an organization. In this situation with the students, in regards to Austin and what's the boy's name, the basketball playing nigga name, Cameron, yeah, whatever. The little boy. What it is that that's a school event, and they're trying to figure out ways to curtail the violence against the students. But in another situation, I saw a video online where it was a young man. He was agitated. It was a bunch of people in the hallway, and he was whooping on the teacher. This teacher had on a suit and a tie. He was a little bitty fella, kind of chubby. He wasn't a boxer looking type of cat, but why this kid whooping on the old man? And in the comments I read, they talk about lock him up, persecute him, woo woo woo. But you know the laws, according to what is going on now, that they want to hide a certain administrations wanted to hide the fact that this type of stuff is going on in schools. Now it's not this administration that's actually passed this legislation to stop it, evidently. So we're gonna finish it up. We're gonna finish this. I'm gonna get up because I really intend to be on here. What's on 21 minutes? Let's go, y'all. Fuck it. Up. Come on, Nick.
Carolina, who was shot in the back as he was getting off of a school.
Go back a little bit so you can hear us say them names again.
Again, been doing it 8 years because most administrations like to keep the violence hidden. We have 3 students that should be here with us today. We have, sorry if I said his name wrong, Serenity Baker and Nizir Taylor from Charlotte, North Carolina, who was shot in the back as he was getting off of a school bus because they thought he was a part of a big brawl.
Brawl.
That happened inside a public high school.
In Sky
So
School.
this is very important and critical to be safe environments.
So this, like she said, the educators safe, the students safe, and the school itself safe. This is not permission to whoop your children. I just want to, and I'm going to play this out and get off here because I really intended to do this on Facebook, but Facebook won't let me do it the way I want to do it. So I'm gonna share the Facebook and see if niggas on Facebook look at it. But anybody else that's confused, Donald Trump did not pass a bill or pass an executive order to where teachers are now allowed to arbitrarily corporally punish, i.e., physically punish, i.e., what they call abuse if you do it to your kids now. There's no law passed for that. And still, I don't understand why people don't. We had good old Martin. He went to the mountaintop. This, that, the third, and the Civil Rights Act of 1964. Now, this didn't provide for equal rights and equal protection. Now, what it did, I guess, it prevented you from being discriminated against to some degree. But you know, even with that, that is a withstanding law. Uh, they can't any law that might specifically and solely target your race or racial group for punishment or, or disproportionate mistreatment that goes against the 1964 Civil Rights Bill. I don't know how these mainstream media channels and whatever in the days once upon a time, Facebook and social media applications used to like fact check you and take your page down. You say wild ass shit. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? I can't even imagine because I used to be able to kick Biden in the ass because Biden was full of shit. The man passed the bill, wrote a bill to put niggas in jail for indeterminate amount of times for having crack rocks and shit. But if I'd have wrote on my social media, Biden is the quack for trying to issue out COVID vaccine mandates to people, then my shit have been shut down. I'd have had fact check shits all over my shit. But you got these people on here for evidently this is now the censorship is gone. After all this time it's being used, negatively against folks who had kind of more conservative like ideas or mindsets, and it wasn't even necessarily the fact that you were you didn't have any liberal sensibilities about yourself, but it's just the fact that your traditional upbringing and your traditional training and thought processes led more conservative as opposed to liberal. You're not an anything goes type of mind. You know, you still want some type of uniformity and some type of discipline. But I say all that to say, man, uh, black people, do your research. Um, all you got to do is go on your internet, man. Go on your internet and go to whitehouse.gov. It's the fact sheet right there. Um, it said it called for appropriate action against educational agencies that fail to comply with Title Six? Title Six by continuing to racially preferentially discipline by continuing to use racially preferential discipline practices. The order requires a report to the president that includes an analysis of DEI-based school discipline and its consequences measures to ensure that federal funds do not support racially preferential policies, including through nonprofit organizations and proposing model discipline policies rooted in American values. The order requires a new guidance to local and state educational agencies regarding school discipline, emphasizing the emphasizing compliance with Title VI protections against racial discrimination and preferencing. So I'm gonna play the rest of Old Girl or to take it out. I'm just gonna say that reading that, that's on the fact sheet. All you got to do is go on there and research the shit. Racial preference. We don't want anybody to have racial preference. We don't want the white folks to get preferential treatment over the niggas, and then the white folks don't want the niggas to get preferential treatment over them. So what this is supposed to is the attempt to do is to prevent all of that. Uh, I don't know, man. I get the I be on them niggas' neck on there, be like, you chicken little. The chicken little ideology, the Trump, they Trump sick. They call it Trump derangement syndrome. Man, y'all, some of the shit they be complaining about, it don't even necessarily affect their lives immediately, if at all. Damn it, TB. My little nephew and them. That was 2020. I went to see my mom on her birthday. Oh shit.
So,
5 seconds, y'all. Hold on.
honestly, nothing
Let's
like
finish
it
this off.
reverberates this out. I seriously.
Skip.
So I think, like I said, I've done this journey alone. I've been on it, but I have a whole team behind me now. I spoke at the RNC, and I told millions that Donald Trump and his administration was going to make schools great again, and I feel that we're on the right path, and I'm just honored to be here.
Thank you. A great minister with us, and
So at the end of the day, they're gonna end up calling this woman a she just Trumper, blah blah blah. And that's because people end up viewing things through an emotional screen or filter. All they don't give a damn, man. If they don't benefit from, they not going. And the thing about it is the shit they go for, they don't benefit for. 912 all during the last administration. You know, they shipping in immigrants from out of the country. They sending money to Ukraine and to in other places on the earth and stop Asian hate. You know, niggas getting kicked all in the ass. They got stop Asian hate bills. And all of a sudden, it was, I thought, what happened to Black Lives Matter? Y'all gonna have to learn to work with Hispanics. But I digress, man. They don't hear that part. That's why I say I eliminate all that emotional shit. I remember eliminate all that they said. I heard they doing, nigga. This is the information age. It don't take 5 seconds to find this information out. Trump discipline executive order paddling. Uh, then you get your Google search and it'll have a line through the cross of paddling. Must include paddling. No, it ain't got to include paddling. If you can't find a search where it says paddling or spanking, then hell, just give me what you got. I'm blind man shopping through this content creation 912. I appreciate you sitting in here with me, baby. But I'm about to end this. I ain't mean for it to go that long, and I don't know if anybody gonna listen. So I'm about a hot 30. They come through on a hot 30. I did it early in the morning and whatnot. Black people, everybody people, read stuff. Get into if you can't understand what you are reading, get a dictionary thesaurus or a smarter person than you to get a better understanding of what it is. It's not that difficult. It's not that serious, man. Y'all are all this fucking panic talking. Chicken Little, Skyfall, we gonna go back to slavery, Chicken Little. All that scary ass shit, man. All this, y'all wasn't crying when interest rates on credit card bills going up, when all this other shit that was going on in the past administration. Y'all try to fool us into believing that everything was fine. I'm not gonna tell you everything fine. Everything's still fucked up as it was the last 4 years, in the 8 years ago, 16 years ago. Niggas got it fucked up out here. uh, I don't want to spend time trying to argue your feelings on this motherfucking shit, and you go and you having a debate with me on one particular subject, and you talking about shit from all over the world and all other types of topics and subjects. Get mad, and I'm sharing, and this is dedicated to my people on Facebook. You may or may not watch it cause y'all haters, and whether y'all be hating and don't want to participate and niggas shuffle to be a content creator, or whether it be Facebook who don't like the shit I try to share with y'all niggas. Y'all have y'all great. What's the day? Tuesday. Y'all have y'all great Tuesday. Uh, Nigga Nation nothing. Peace and love. I hope somebody learned something today. I'm always learning. You could learn something every day. Think all the time. You know what I'm saying?